A versus C. Thank you, everyone, of course, for sort of just sticking with us there as we went into podcast mode a little bit, but finally we can get into this game. Big match coming up for World's Edge conclusion for Group A versus C.
Okay, final game of World's Edge. As you mentioned, we get a different dropship path. This time it's going from east to west. Teams landing at the geyser. They get priority over this one. And as I'm sure the circle will be revealed to us all very soon. It's actually gone pretty southern. Still haven't had a thermal station pull in pretty much forever. Poor good riddance. You know, teams who landed there in year 2 of ALGS, Xenox, were often rewarded for having that spot. This time, it won't be too far away from them, but still, you know, they get the hot zone a lot. The hot zone actually drops there a lot still. Wei just pinged out a golden EVA 8. So that's one of the options they have, but still no zones. At least not directly on their POI. This one's going to go a bit further across.
Something quite a bit different, though, to at least close things out here on World's Edge. See how this one does look to play out. We've seen, so far, though, 4 or 5 minute mark. Both games that we've played, team getting eliminated was PK in the first game, and then I think it was actually 3 different teams in match number 2. One of them being Chicken Sandwich, ADR Wolves being the other. And there was one more. I don't quite remember who the third team was, but kind of keep an eye out for that, especially with this kind of circle. A lot of teams rotating, a lot of teams on the move. They're bound to cross paths, collide with each other, especially in the next couple of minutes or so. We'll see how that does come to a head. In terms of the teams, obviously pretty happy with this opening circle. Falcon and the free agents, you would imagine they'd be quite happy over towards Tree. Launch site is now positioned where Buram starting to head. Same with RTL, same with T4, the team that we just had the scouting report for. A team that basically has to go bigger, better than ever before in this split. They need top 3 at minimum. This might be the kind of game where they can gain a bit of a catalyst, and you do well here. You finish World's Edge, maybe in the top 5. You give yourselves a bit of a platform going into Storm Point to essentially cause an upset.
Look, speaking of Catalyst, we haven't seen her pick since the first week she was available to our players here in Apac South. The first week we switched over to the Season 15 patch. That said, you never know. Maybe she will come back into it at some point. As you said, Primus Commander, they're finding a really good spot here. At the top of launch site, I like that. With the zone the way it is, I feel like there's probably the biggest chance of it pulling down or around launch site. I think that's the most likely sort of scenario here, but certainly a couple of teams are going to end up in Tree and just play the odds over there too. If we go a bit further up, there's teams that don't have quite as much info. Golden Sage, of course, they do. You can see there's a survey beacon right in front of them. They've managed to pull that one off, so either they are trying to play a little bit more edge, or just, no, there you go. They're going to go for the rotation straight up. Skyward Dive goes in. Chicken Sandwich will be looking at. They'll hear, of course, the big sound cue. And they're actually going to make their own Skyward Dive in. So Valks leading their team further into the charge here. I think they're going to play different positions. So Chicken Sandwich going... no, actually, they will both go towards Lava Siphon, just as we see Tree is going to be heating up a bit here. Good riddance. They're running away from free agents right now, taking a lot of shots.
Couple of teams here as well. Northside Esport may be able to push on with this. They do have information through the crypto. Lahim getting very aggressive along with Balkan. Shots landing, cracked as well. Good shots from Balkan on the Bloodhound. We'll be able to obviously see that Northside are here as well, just to their left. Golden Sage actually on the other side of Don. Good Reddits have been eliminated. So there is that early death, that early team elimination, like I said. Inside of the first couple of minutes, it has been a trend on World's Edge. Obviously for free agents, they probably didn't get as much out of that as they would have liked. Only the 1 kill, not a lot of Evo damage either.
Man, it's been such a rough split so far for Jarrow, obviously getting dropped from Moist, and then, just Good Riddance really struggling to make things work. Over here in Geyser, this matchup between MD, White, and Ant is kicking off. You can see nades through Watson, pretty good in these narrow corridors.
One thing that Ant have done well, though, at least over the last 2 weeks, their fighting playstyle has been very successful. A2 knockdown. Noku Dart able to get the bat off, back to full armor and practically full health as well. Ming Yu popping a bat too. A reprieve, but Ant actually down a player already in Kentong. Holiday has to fall back, pop the cells. Fortunately, they just don't have the armor to deal with MDY white. Double purple versus double blue. Really not ideal there for Ant. Then now it's the revive as well. 3 versus 2. Crack onto Jaylun. And MDY white has done a tremendous job at dealing with the push from Ant.
Yeah, well, you know, they couldn't get Kentung back up. He got finished properly. So now that it's back into the 3v2, Ant didn't manage to make anything happen while they had evened things up. That means they're just going to have to get out of dodge, basically. Don't have the banner. They're going to go all the way through the vault tunnel and make this rotation here. Oh, actually, no, Jilun going back in with the drone. Maybe he does have the chance to grab that. It is out in the open, 37 seconds left on it. I'd say there's a chance they get this unless MDY do hear it coming. Mingyue is actually on the box right now. If he hears that coming, he's going to go try and use the other geyser as cover, but unfortunately he needs to practice the drone racing a little bit more there. Drone taken out.
Yeah, and now also inside of the zone as well, and pushing back into MDY. So they don't really have a choice as to how they can play this. And yeah, there's not much you can really do. Not as if they've got a bulk. They don't have the Skyward Dive. Basically, have to kind of rely on Holiday maybe with the smoke. They're actually going to go all the way back and wrap around and not go into MDY. ADL, as we can see, also in the vicinity, just north of MDY.
Yeah, these guys, are they going to be playing Gatekeeper here? Could potentially be that role for them versus MDY White. Maybe even the duo of Ants who are pushing further north out past Ghost Town. There's a crypto drone. It's actually from ADL that's going towards the beacon in Ghost Town, and it's probably going to spot out Ant at the same time. I'm not sure that they were necessarily looking for that, but they've got more than they bargained for there.
We've been on these guys for a while now. A reminder, of course, as to where the circle is going. Grand Circle's up. It's straight on top of launch site, Genome. So this sort of battle over towards guys are not even remotely close to the circle. And I think that's why we're going to just see ADL Wolves get on the move here. They basically have no choice, and they do have intel as well on that green circle, so they know where it's heading. They know it's heading to launch site. You don't really want to be one of the last teams making your way in there either. There's still quite a lot of teams that do need to head over to that POI. Is already there though. Buram, PK, teams that have done well so far today, and a couple of teams that really need to find some success in RTL, DNZ, and also T4, all hanging around launch site early on as well here to start the second round.
I mean, even Thermal Station, there's some fights going on, and here it is. It's GQ that are trying to chase down Dexter. Dexter is miles away from his teammates. Killer Pose and Ziki are trying to get back there to save him. Meanwhile, Dexter just pulled out the Skyward Dive, but he's only got about 20 health left. This should be an easy clock there, and you can see GQ, Big Boss will grab him with the flatline here, but can EXO come back off the top of this? They've got... No, okay. They've actually been smoked off the high ground by GQ. So Mew trying to just close down those sight lines and guarantee this kill, and they do exactly that.
Well, he did dive all right. Dived back straight down to the ground immediately. It was a valuable effort. You have to commend it. Hiding behind that cover gave him time to sort of get up in the air. But as soon as he got it high enough, he was shot back down straight to earth. And Exoclave will go for this. Well, the way that they're pushing back in towards Thermal Station, they will go for that banner, I imagine.
All right.
At least the way they're pushing for it.
Yeah, look, they'll try and grab that off the back end, but we're having a look at the next zone, Xenox, and we want to talk about this one a little bit because, there's been a lot of talk about exclusion zones recently, and if you've been looking at those maps, you'll know that these mountains and buildings around launch site, there's none around here, and what that means is you often do get some circles like this, where all of the mountains are in play in some of these later circles, at least until you get up to maybe, let's say Zone 5 or 6, Xenox. And that means there's not a lot of playable space, or at least there's a lot less than you usually get in some of these later circles. So that means they're really brutal. We've seen one of these already so far, this split where you can, it can go directly across one of the mountains, and you've got teams sort of Valk-ulting one side or the other. You've got to choose. It can be quite tough to know which side to play from. The teams, we called this launch site from the start, right? So they probably should have known that, but knowing which side of launch site to play, almost impossible to call.
And Dexter will be making his way back in. Ziki and Killerpost have been able to get that banner, get that respawn. So back to 3 for EXO. They will be coming in from the zone though, and potentially still pushing into GQ later on as we have a look at Dreamfire at the moment, making their way in from Lava Siphon. Actually, a couple of teams still there, and Dugu Play being one of them. Chicken Sandwich really just on the edge of it too, so still not going to be a free push in for Dreamfire. They can see that already getting shot at. Smoke immediately from Roy. Arcstar's out. This is exactly, though, where Dreamfire found so much success last week, pushing into teams, utilizing that smoke from the Bangalore, and being able to get those additional knocks. A lot of free damage, though, onto Roy, making his way up the stairs. Oh, no. He got cracked. Pete gets knocked. This is not the way that Dreamfire would have hoped that their push would go. Big shot from Strafing Flame.
Ult goes down. There's a grenade there to try and delay and get this res off onto Pete. They do actually manage to get him up, but Dugu Play, they're playing this too slowly. All 3 of them are alive. They're slow healing next to a pylon. This is not the time to be doing that. If they want to be able to take it, they want to take out Dreamfire. I mean, this is essentially an isolated 3v3. That was the time for Dugu Play to go in, and they don't manage to find the window. They'll get away safely, though. And just as we talk about actually, not seeing much turbocharger in play, Pete actually has picked up one here. The Crypto just spamming them with a 2x from long range. And Dugu Play, they've missed it. And they've also made a very sus rotation here as you see them just getting mowed down by Dreamfire. If you give these guys an inch, they will take a mile.
There wasn't much more, though, in terms of space that Dugu Play could really head into. As they pushed out a Lava Siphon, you definitely couldn't push into Chicken Sandwich. They try and wrap over towards the eastern side, hoping that it's largely not being watched. But DNZ, Joker in particular, was watching it the whole way through, and they were able to really punish them. The Busu say, Moonlight Tears down. In fact, gone. Out for the count. I Kill Only Noob will be the only one alive now for Dugu Play.
I just don't understand.
Sort of speaking about them getting points, that not going to get a whole lot from this game.
Just don't understand why they were playing so safely there, Xenox. I mean, they get the knock. It seemed like the 3 of them were in good health. They should have pushed up. Instead, they make a rotation where several teams have sightlines on them and go down. So, look, Dreamfire, honestly, I felt like I got a bit of a lifeline there, frankly.
No lifelines in this game, mate. Come on.
Yeah, AJ Shea. We've seen her once this split, but yeah, not today.
All 19 squads though, right? Heading into this next round, it is really, really populated. Heading in towards launch site, which that green circle is actually moving away from launch site.
Yep, free agents still in a decent spot over here. As you can see, they're kind of in that spot I was talking about, Xenox, where they're both close to both sides of the mountain. So if this goes the way they don't want to, and they kind of need that because they don't have the Valk, right? They have to be able to run around if they if that situation eventuates. I guess they don't have the Wraith portal to use Into the Void to go around through the zone. They really have to just be able to make the rotation on foot whenever they need to.
Big fight happening though over towards the northwest at the moment. Northside Esport trying to gatekeep. See if they can finish off 20th guaranteed. And yeah, that actually happened really easily, really quickly in the end. So they'll collect a couple of kills for themselves. They will actually have a chance to maybe third party into Exoclan and GQ. That fight happening just to the south of them. We've got Chicken Sandwich, though, Strafing Flame knocked down early. Is there a chance though that Panna and Player K can respond here for Chicken? Up towards the north, they are being really kept at bay by the Boogie Boarders, who are triple blue, so they're not exactly all that well equipped. And then there's Ant Esports in their building here at the edge of Lava Siphon as well.
Yeah, other important fights going on as well, though. Northside versus EXO, and as you can see, Northside getting the better of that. They're down to 2 now, but EXO are going to struggle to reset with Boogie Boarders coming in hot and free agents just sniping them from the side. Chicken Sandwich somehow have managed to completely reset here. They've routed and Esports, who are down to Holiday once again, the Bangalore being the one who gets out alone. And Boogie Boarders, they never seem to be in the thick of it, Xenox. They always seem to just be on the outskirts looking for it, and that's maybe why they don't have, you know, the best armors, as we've seen. All right, Chicken Sandwich, they've just gotten Esports out of here. Why don't we see what their next move is?
I'm coming. I need a Valkyrie from, like, right here on me, Panel. Right here on me.
Alright, we need to go.
Let's go, let's
fire,
go.
come, fire.
Yeah. I'm ready.
We need to go over this, We can make it, we can make it.
Yeah. Under the stairs is good
Keep going
as well.
forward, keep going forward. Play for this. Fight this.
Right here, safe on me.
Wipe this.
Yeah.
I'm batting.
I'm Jenny.
Play
Behind
Behind us! Out here!
Just keep looking front.
Yeah.
They're in the middle. Nate this.
Go here, come.
Nate stack.
I don't have any.
I cracked one. I cracked another.
Yellow, Watson, one!
I have to jump down.
Killed one.
One dead.
One left.
Oh,
They died.
I tried.
All right, not quite the end that Chicken Sandwich would have wanted. They go out actually a little bit early there in this sort of final piece, the edge of launch site. 7 squads remain with MD White now getting eliminated too. It's too much for Chicken Sandwich to deal with at once, Gino, and they do unfortunately fall.
Buriram, however, are in a fantastic spot. They hadn't had to deal with any of the shenanigans we just saw as half of launch site gets eliminated. They're in the perfect spot. Free agents below them also in a good spot. Remember, we got some vision of them before. And then, of course, it's our Rampart team who are well set up to Popcorn and getting those amped covers in place. They're blocking off some of the sightlines there for the pylon. It's looking good too. And I'm sure Sheila will be joining us before long. So, apart from them, you've got DNZ, 2 members left of Boogie Boarders who are just pumping out whatever ammo they've got left to try and break the top of any of the amp covers as well. And yeah, as you can see, Ant Esports, or at least Holiday, is just trying to work out what he's going to do. Can he, has this guy done any rock climbing practice recently? He might need the finger strength to make it all the way up here. He's going to throw his ultimate. We've got the Rolling Thunder. You know, who knows? Maybe one or two of those missiles will make their way over the other side of the mountain.
Well, surviving long enough to see Popcorn get eliminated, that'll make Holiday happy for Ant Esports. Is there anyone else, though, that is going to fall before him? Bolin is actually solo with DNZ on the Bloodhound, cracked at the moment. Running around. He does have a bat that he will pop. RTL, though, triple purple high ground. This could be their game to sort of kickstart their day. Leaving it until the final game of World's Edge, but still 3 more matches of Storm Point after this, so you can really still build from this heading into the other map. You see those Watson fences down below.
RTL, who have generally struggled so far this split, they finally get you know, a good launch site zone for them, and as you can see, they've played it well now into the top 4. They've managed to pick up 3 kills as well as a 4th place minimum here, and of course they are looking like it'll be a top 3 as Shady is hiding behind a knockdown shield here from the other 3 teams who have the full squads alive. So now we're into that 3-team situation. Buriram looking great from the high ground. Free agents with the good fighting composition are down low, and then you've got RTL who have been saving that EMP for this last fight. Could that be the key factor?
7 kills for free agents, 6 kills for Buriram. RTL have 4. Now 3 squad alive. Finale, all 9 players still up. Everyone is honestly looking really healthy as well. All triple purples on the side of free agents and RTL, but it's best for Buriram. They've got 2 players with red armor and got gaps of Jack Yu, who actually has just been knocked out. Well, sorry, taken to half health, I should say. Shield Bat will go out. Has a couple of those stockpiled.
Kraber.
Do imagine this will probably slow down a little bit. Ooh.
Grab some good tags. Will the stun lock them down for long enough for these Kraber shots to hit? Not the first one.
Just this sort of positioning, this prosperation of no one really wants to make the first move. Wants to put themselves in a bad position. Who is going to make that first move though?
Yeah, well, that's what I'm trying to work out here. Xenox there, just climbing up to the high ground now. There's that EMP. Haven't used that. We've got Lahim still with the Rolling Thunder. As soon as people have to make it out into the open, that Bangalore ultimate is certainly going to cause a lot of chaos. The team's taking it slowly now. A thermite grenade does find its mark. And we're seeing the laser target painted ultimate. It's getting prepared from the Bangalore here. Lahim, when is he going to let that rip?
RTL have recovered from that EMP. They do still have a Skyward dive if they want to try and get a bit more of a high ground position. Lahim does actually throw out the smoke. This is a chance though for free agents there. They could maybe just take the fight to Buriram, but still just triple red. Have really the god position to play from here. Digital threats as well. I mean, they can see through that smoke just as well as free agents. Lahim, Falcon. And not going to be able to survive this one. They both fall. Buriram have got high ground position as well in this final fight to come.
Oh,
they needed a lot of points from this game. RTL, though, maybe there's a chance they can still make their way up here. Braille, no, can't make the climb. RTL are going to have to play from the low ground. Buriram from the high ground, and they're watching and waiting as they try and make their way up. Railed is living up to his name. He's been railed by Gopcaps. Buriram should win from here, you'd think.
Yeah, it's so easy. They hit on the low ground, taking too much damage from the zone, and they had pretty much one chance there, Xenox. They had to get that EMP off and stun Buriram up so that they had the chance to climb out there. But some good sniping from Buriram. They managed to take that drone out in the precious few seconds that you have